Tonight's DJNTV show is sponsored in part by Electro Voice, DJ Event Planner, ADJ, NLFX Professional, Promo Only, Newmark, and DJNTV Insiders.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of DraxBytes. I'm your host, Drax. What we're going to talk a bit about tonight is called the imitation game. The imitation game. This is where DJs imitate others. They tend to act as if they are something when they're not. They tend to try to be something they're not. They try to imitate others. You know, you've heard some DJ talk at a DJ convention about a cool idea they implemented in their market for a specific client. And what do you know? Next week, 150 DJs or more are trying to do the exact same thing in their market, not for a unique client that matched the other unique client, but for every single stinking one of their clients. This is called shtick. This is what ruins originality and creativity. It's what causes people not to share their best bits with their colleagues or with others, is because they don't want them commoditized. Commoditization of skill does sometimes happen. Commoditization of originality should never happen. The reason I say that is because it's so important to be authentic. If you create something as an original element for a client, it should be for that client. It shouldn't be for anyone else. It shouldn't be for everyone else. It should be for that unique client. Now, that doesn't mean that things are not adaptable. Certainly they can be adaptable. They can work for a variety of markets and a variety of different opportunities and clients. But there is a difference in how some of those are. Do you ever go on social media and you look at the DJ groups and you see post after post? Hey, I just booked my first mitzvah. Can someone tell me how you do that? I want to go bing, boom, 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 boom. Dead. Stop it. Don't be stupid. Don't take events you don't know how to do. And that doesn't mean you can't do mitzvahs. Rather, it means you need to spend the time to network with somebody that does them and does them well. And then you need to be able to be working with them so that you learn the functional skills and things essential to that event. Once you've learned them, then you go out and you do one with an experienced mitzvah DJ. Why? Because the client pays to have someone that doesn't suck. And it's not as simple as having a motivator and a bunch of dancers and a bunch of cool, hip glow products and throwaways. It's actually about knowing the origin of the tradition and knowing how to implement it properly. Same holds true for events in the Hispanic community. The same holds true for a corporate event. What? A corporate event, you say? How could that possibly be? Well, let's take a look at it. Do you do a corporate event for Bank of America the same way you do one for Ford Motors? No, because each company has its unique corporate culture. And as such, its events, its sociality, need to fit within its corporate culture. How can you do that if you don't understand its corporate culture? Well, the answer is you find out its corporate culture. You talk to a lot of its employees, you talk to its management, and you find out exactly the kinds of elements that they want. Now, you then offer unique elements, things that will make it better, things that will help to take it up a notch, that will make it a great, unique corporate event. You see, because that's one of the things that's lacking in so many events. It's like McVents. It's like everyone is stamped out of a press. Boom, 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 boom. Just same as last week, same as the week before that. All that's garbage, folks. Garbage. Be original. Craft some talent. And by the way, if you don't have talent, you cannot grow talent, i.e., You can't start with no talent and develop talent. You have to have it. Talent is an innate gift from God, the universe, whatever you believe. Talent exists within you. It can be developed and honed and improved, but it can never be created. You cannot create talent where it does not exist. Now, let's not confuse that with skills. I can guarantee you, I can take anyone and teach them how to mix. I can take anyone and teach them how to program music. I can take anyone and teach them the art of transitions. I can take anyone and teach them how to speak on a microphone, giving announcements. Those are not talent functionalities as much as skill functionalities. Now, it doesn't mean you can not be a talented master of ceremonies. You can. And there's specific education that you should look for and seek out to become a skilled master of ceremonies. Because you see, it's not being an MC. An MC is like, none of that crap. Being an MC, boom, no. You are a master of ceremonies. That means you have to know the ceremony over which you're providing. Does that make sense? When Billy Crystal hosts the Oscars as its master of ceremonies, he fully understands the culture of the Oscars. He understands the culture of that industry because he's in it. But as a result, he is masterful at delivering the control and the articulation and the follow of that ceremony. He knows how to lead the audience and the attendees on the journey he wants them to take. Same is true for a corporate event. Same is true for a wedding. You cannot be a master of ceremonies at a wedding if you don't really fully understand the origins of marriage, the origins of weddings, wedding celebrations, and the need for the role. Now, let's not confuse making announcements with being a master of ceremonies. Two completely different things. A master of ceremonies welcomes people to the room, articulates thoughtfully and intelligently and emotionally appropriate elements that need to be introduced to the event. An announcer is the guy that says, "Hello, we have an announcement. Somebody, license plate 665228, your lights are on." That's an announcement. Saying dinner is served is an announcement. Saying we're now going to cut the cake is an announcement. Saying we're now going to do this or that is an announcement. And I know it may seem subtle, but it's not. It's huge. Making announcements implies routine things. In radio, people were, after they were disc jockeys, they were radio announcers. What that largely means is they would announce the time. They would announce the traffic. They would announce the weather. They would tell you what the weather's doing. But the people that were artful were not announcers. They became hosts because they made their program something that people felt invited and welcomed to. Essentially, they hosted the party. So now as we talk more a bit about the imitation game, how many of you think about the idea, could technology replace what you do? I'm here to tell you it not only can, it is, and it will. In the next 10 years, pretty much all of the basic functions that most mobile DJs do will be toast. And this will apply likewise to photo booths. I've talked a little bit so far about the DJ side, but here I want to deep dive a bit on photo booths. Photo booths are becoming better and better. Most of the software now does green screenless chroma key. What that means is you don't have to have a green screen behind the subject to chroma key them into a scene like Paris. The computer technology is getting more and more sophisticated. It's getting to where it will troubleshoot itself, repair itself. You don't think so? Just look at how far your phone has come in 10 years. Look at the original iPhone and compare it to this device. Look at all of the technology that's moved. Jumping back on the DJ side, think back 20 years ago, 22 years ago, when I first started DJing completely digitally. I was one of one or two other people in the entire United States, maybe even the world, that was DJing 100% digitally from computer files. And ladies and gentlemen, this predated MP3. There was no MP3. Everything was literally just like we did from discs, except you were dealing with computer files. And you had to set cue points and do that all manually. Now, software will mix an entire evening seamlessly. It will do video, karaoke. It'll do a lot of functionality. Look for the day when systems will be able to read the audience. Already we have predictive elements that tell us, oh, you're playing this. 92% of our audience says they did this. For everybody, take a consideration of Netflix. You select a program on Netflix, and it immediately offers you a bunch more based on your viewing selections. You click on a film, and it will tell you what other people picked in addition to that film. The imitation game is going to take away all of the artifice of the technical how-tos. That's going to just disappear. Photography is going to get better and better and better. It's going to become completely automated. Within 10 years, I don't even know if there'll be anything required other than the computer will say, turn this on, set some lights to produce this amount of light. It will say, okay, you have the right amount of light, and it's good to go. And it will shoot and print, and everything will be perfectly color matched and balanced. Don't believe it? Think how far film development has come. Digital printing. You now can take digital pictures from your phone that may not even be all that hot, take them to a lab, and they won't manually retouch them. They'll run them through software, which will photo blend the face tones, skin tones, and make them excellent, make the white balance great, the contrast perfect, and then print a perfect print. So what you want to think about is be authentic. If you're a photo boother, you need to do something different and unique for your customer. You need to craft something that they see as unique and different. If you're on the DJ side, it's the same thing. Because in this game, what's going to happen is those that fail to become unique, fail to create something identifiable as uniquely them, will be commoditized. They'll be packetized. They'll be ratchetized. They'll be made to compete on price alone, because the consumer will not see any difference between what you're currently doing and what everyone else is doing, because the technology will have taken out those layers. So on the photo booth side, you're going to have a really, really good photo booth host, not a photo booth assistant, not a photo booth person, a host, someone that not only can fix the gear, but someone that will make the experience a fun and dynamic event for the guests of the party. On the DJ side, you need to do a self-evaluation. How unique are your skills really? What are you really offering that's unique and different that isn't being offered 100,000 times across the country? What are you doing for that customer uniquely personal? If you're not, then you're commoditizing yourself and you're making yourself less valuable. Now, what do I mean by that, folks? What that means is if you pretty much do 90% the same thing for every customer, you're not creating unique value. You're not creating anything that is substantively uniquely you. You are doing the same thing over and over with minor tweaks. So what you want to consider is, how do I break the imitation game? 1, stop doing what everybody else does. 2, Start to develop your own unique elements. 3, get training. If you're on the photo booth side, get photography training. Get to be the very best that there is. Also, take some public speaking classes. No, you don't talk a lot in front of a large audience running a photo booth, but the more comfortable your host is at dealing with the audience, the more jovial and outgoing and social they become, the better a host they'll be. On the DJ side, look for very specific training. Look to be a master of ceremonies. Look to be a mixing DJ. You should mix. Beat mixing should be in the wheelhouse of every DJ. It should be something that you're good at and skilled at and comfortable doing. Doesn't mean you have to do it all the time. It just simply means it's in your wheelhouse. It's something you can do when you want, do when you need. But I will tell you 100%, it will change the way you play music. It will change your selections. It will change how you see music. You'll start to see harmonies. You'll start to see color. You'll start to see things in music that will let you think about putting two songs together that you never would have otherwise. So that's how you break the imitation game. Be authentic, be unique. Create something for a party that people have never seen before. You want to do something wild with your photo booth? When you have your photo booth set up, put a projector, shine it straight up to the ceiling. Show the images as they're coming off up on the ceiling, or show them up on a big wall instead of just on a little television screen. Make that huge. Make it part of the event. These are things that can be done that create a difference, that create something incredibly unique. So what you want to think about is ways that you can do unique, fun elements. You want to look at things that can become unique to you and be developed to be part of your signature brand. We've talked a lot over time about brands. We've talked a lot about the necessity of a brand. Having a developed brand will do more to succeed for your business than literally many other things you can do. Have your business plan. Oh, and next week, yes, next week, we're going to be live for a full hour, taking your questions, discussing the past 6 shows in depth, getting more ideas out to you on things that you want to do. Remember, the concept of the imitation game is technology is going to continue to advance. Don't let it steamroll you. Don't be the imitator. Don't imitate someone else. Instead, be creative. Craft your own unique elements. Be something more. Be different. Be outstanding. Be something that people really have to have. Put your comments down below. Again, you can reach me at Facebook at 4ADJA or Hugo Drax, or you can call the office 888-723-5776. We look forward to being with you next week. Again, next week for a full hour. We're going to take your questions and phone calls. We're going to deal with your thoughts, your challenges, and we're going to help you grow your business. Because remember, if we work together, imagine what we can do, because that's what I do. I'm here to help you to build and grow your business. Good night, folks. Hope you had a great time.